So the last video we talked about friction. How exactly does a person or does a team or a company or an army, how do they avoid friction? Well, Clausewitz has an answer, and that answer is leadership. And that is the subject of this video. So if you remember, Clausewitz said that there really is no science to warfare. The fact is, war is a duel of moral or psychological forces. Instead, it's an art. Warfare is an art. It's about improvisation. There is no true science, and aside from just general principles, only the art of war truly exists. So saying that, how do we actualize our strategy? We have a plan, we have objectives, and the friction is going to be in between the planning and execution, the expectations. How do we do it? Well, Clausewitz says we rely on leadership. And not just leadership, but genius. And this is an interesting point. Clausewitz believed, even Napoleon, that there are certain types of leaders, genius leaders. You can't be trained on it, you can't develop it, you're just born with it. We're not interested in that. We're interested in developing leaders. But there are certain skills and competencies that you can develop to help you. And I think the example here of what Clausewitz is going to describe as the mark of the genius leader, there's some aspects that we can develop. So what is the leader? What makes a leader successful to successfully improvise? Well, Clausewitz calls it the strike of the eye, the strike of the eye. And basically, it's the genius commander. It's the person who can automatically, instantaneously look at the battlefield and make a decision, a conclusion, and it's right. Despite not having all the details, the evidence that would suggest a conclusion, somehow intuitively, the leader makes it. And the strike of the eye, as we define it, is automatic, instantaneous response to immediate stimuli, or it's the intuitive connection of larger concepts in your head to the things on the ground. And I'll explain what that means. Basically, imagine this. You are walking down a highway in the middle of the night. It's very dark. And at the far end of this highway, everything's black. You see a little light. You see a little bit of light. It could be a building. It could be a motorcycle. It could be a car. It could be a variety of things. But you say, that's a parking lot. I know it right there. It's a parking lot. That's my judgment. You go and you walk and it is a parking lot. That's what this idea of the intuitive connection between ideas and things on the ground, we call particulars. What it means is, despite having all that evidence, you recognize some kind of pattern, something in it, and you claim, boom, that's what it is, and you go for it. That's the essence of the genius leader, the strike of the eye. So how do you develop the strike of the eye? Well, believe it or not, there is a formula. Clausewitz says there's actually 4 parts to the strike of the eye, and these are things I want to talk about now. And these 4 parts are, 1, examples of history. What he means is, to be an effective leader, you have to read history. Not just to read history in and of itself, but what you're doing is you're reading different people, different case studies, different success and stories of failure. Basically, you're building an arsenal of ideas, of settings, situations to fall back on. So that's why understanding history is going to help you navigate through all the obstacles that you're going through now, because history will show you you're not the first person to do this. Examples of history. The next one is called presence of mind. And what this means is, think of a real awareness, keeping a real clear awareness of the situation at hand. For the general, it could be the general on the battlefield who, despite the smoke and the screaming and the cannon, he sees an opening. That's an opening through the enemy lines. And he tells his troops to go through. That's keeping that presence of mind. For a business leader, many executives really have to keep a presence of mind, not just for their own company, but for the competition, right? What's the competition doing? What's happening in the economy that's going to affect your business? That's really keeping a presence of mind. And now that does not mean that you actually have to be out there doing it yourself. It means creating the conditions where feedback is coming to you from the frontline managers, from the from just the people on the ground, your frontline agents, middle management. making sure that their eyes and their ears are open to keep you aware so you can keep a strategic presence of mind. The third element is the flash of insight. And this is really the brain operating. It means seeing something on the battlefield and boom, making the decision quickly, the conclusion quickly. That's what it is. Very much like the example of walking down the street at night and seeing the lights, the parking lot. That's, a flash of insight. Some people are fast, some people are slow. The question is, can you develop that? Well, you can practice all you want, but it's something that's probably innate or biological to us. But practice at it. But the fourth element that makes the strike of the eye, that makes the genius leader, according to Clausewitz, is resolution and determination. And what that means is, once you make that flash of insight, and you've made it based on your awareness of the situation and your study of history, once you've made that decision, you got to go for it. You have to attack with everything. You hold nothing back. You throw everything at that problem or at that challenge. And that's what that determination means. And we'll see later why that determination is essential to leadership and to success. So those are the four elements of the strike of the eye, the secrets to leadership, according to Clausewitz. Examples of history, presence of mind, flash of insight, and resolution, determination. Thanks. If you like this video, please hit like and share it with your friends. Look, the more people who like Ed's challenges and watch it, the greater the impacts to community, business, and leaders.